Hello again, thanks for choosing us. The police says it has arrested the key suspect in the Wa murder case. The suspect, identified as Kankani Adongo, was arrested on 19 September 2022 at Bamahu, a suburb of Wa. Now, the police says the arrest was made after an extensive search in collaboration with the Community Search Party. Let's cross over live now and speak to correspondent Rafiq Salam, who has been on this beat for us in the last few days. Rafiq, first of all, clarify for us, was the individual picked up by the Community Search Party and handed over to the police, or we had a situation where the community members were embedded with a police team who then apprehended the suspect?
Apprehended by a search party around Yobet and then taken to the One House Palace and then later handed over to the Wa police.
Right, and Rafiq, I asked this question because of what we are learning of the concern of the Interior Minister and the IGP. The Interior Minister, Ambrose Derry especially, warning the people not to usurp the authority of the police. What is really warranting or generating this caution?
When the incident somewhere around Friday, you have some Irish youth that stormed the One House Palace, and later they besieged town, went to some shops and allegedly looted some items belonging to some foreigners. And then the Interior Minister was really talking about saying that they shouldn't take the law into their hands, their own hands, because the police, they are the rightful people to conduct investigations to unravel messages surrounding such incident. And so he's appealing to the youth that should they have see anything untoward, what they need to do is to cooperate with the police and then hand over the suspect to the police. And that is what the search party has really done.
And Rafiq, we know that over 300 police officers are on the ground in what the police describes as a special operation to address the issue. But the overlord did not mince words in expressing his displeasure about the police response. Tell us more.
And according to the overlord, he thinks that that's a knee-jerk approach, considering the number of police that we have in the Upper West region. Let me give you the records. The information that we have gleaned on indicates that the last 2 years, over 1,000 policemen have been transferred out of the Upper West region. And then also about 200 also transferred into the region. The people that have under this transfer are not up to 30. Let me cite the instance of the one municipality. Out of 50 that were transferred out of the municipality, there was only one replacement. And so the one is also saying that these are policemen who, some of them who are in the municipality or in the region, have stayed over 10, 15 years. And then they think that they have overstayed their welcome, they have mixed with the people, and for them, because they are mixed with the people, it is really difficult now to fight crime in the region. The one is therefore calling on the IGP to transfer out all policemen and women who have stayed over 10 years in the region and bring new faces so that they will be able to fight crime in the Upper West region.
There was also a specific demand for a curfew by the overlord. Was that granted?
It wasn't granted because that was an interview that we conducted earlier on Friday, which the spokesperson of the world overlord, Kadir Ibrahim, made a categorical statement. But when we put that to the Inspector General of the Ghana, the Interior Minister, he says that as for curfew, it's not only decided by the Interior Minister. We have the RECSEC headed by the Upper West Minister. But when they are talking about a curfew, what really happened is that both sides sit together to review the security situation before curfew is imposed. But for now, there's no way that curfew could be imposed in the one municipality.
Rafiq, kindly hold it there for me. We're joined by Peter Tobu, who is a former senior police officer and now a member of Parliament for Wa West, and also a member of the Interior and Defence Committee in Parliament. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Joy News Prime. So this is really happening in your backyard, and I suspect you may have been following the turn of events, gathering your own information. What do you make of what has transpired so far and the reaction of the police?
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Good evening to your cherished listeners and viewers. I want to say good evening to my brother Rafiq Salam for the wonderful work that he's been doing for Ghana's media and very particularly the Upper West region. I think that for the many years that I've known him, he stood firm in the media frontage to ensure that whatever is relevant in the Upper West region is conveyed to the consuming public. What is happening in the Upper West region now has been graduated to a national issue, is of a national interest. The Inspector General of Police, upon hearing the news after the demonstration, took it upon himself to do what is necessary, and he's acted promptly because I think that was the point that he got a clearer picture that things were not right in the Upper West region. Deploying 300 officers to a region like Upper West region and making sure that you send combat teams, special purpose vehicles for investigation and intelligence is the highest that I can think of in terms of approaching a crime that is gradually becoming a menace. What is happening now is that, you see, the Inspector General of Police will get to appreciate the fact that when the people in the Upper West region are crying about low numbers of police, it's a reality. When we are crying about the capacity of the police to manage the region due to their numbers, it's a reality. Today, you've sent 300 men. After the situation is resolved, are you going to withdraw all the men? And I think that I want to thank the overlord of the white traditional area. What he's saying is a reality. What can we do? People have been in the Upper West region for more than 10 years. They actually want to leave, but the system is so suffocating that they are there and they're so frustrated. And when you find a frustrated officer in uniform, he's more dangerous than even a civilian.
But Mr. Tobu, why would police officers would want to leave the region just because they have stayed over 10 years? And you talk about the fact that the numbers there is quite low. If you have police officers who have stayed there for that long, they should be familiar with the terrain, and that should help in providing security to the people. Isn't that a plus? Why should that be a concern, especially for the overlord, as we heard him say, and for that matter, for the police officers who want to be transferred?
I think that the overlord was probably just quoting from the police regulations, or was just quoting from the service instructions that governs police organizations. In the service instructions, saying that no police officer should be allowed to stay in a particular region for more than 10 years. And no police officer should be allowed to stay in a particular station for more than 5 years, unless there's specialized arrangement. But these days, many of these things are ignored. You see, the principle behind policing is such that if you live in a particular community for more than 10 years, enforcing laws becomes a problem. You become a family man. And that is why it's always encouraging that let's have some fresh faces, refresh the system. Let them be challenged to do some local knowledge, calm the system, and try to prevent crime and do something solid. After 10 years, I mean, you can't serve all your police life in a particular region and retire. What is the experience that you've gotten? How diverse are you in your police experience? So if you work in the Upper West for 10 years, you should be able to move to another part of the country.
Well, I'm grateful that you could join us. We ran out of time on this, but Peter Tobu, we are grateful that you could join us with your thoughts on this development. Rafiq Salam is still with us on the line. Rafiq, so 6 people confirmed dead, the bodies retrieved, 3 others not accounted for. How are the residents reacting to the development, especially in the last 24 hours, where police deployed to the area, the IGP there, the Interior Minister also on the ground?
The people of the Wa municipality, I can tell you that are really happy with the deployment of the police force in wherever, whichever junction or intersection that you move to. At least you can spot at least 3 police personnel there. They are happy with the deployment, but at least they want the police to do more. What is happening in Wa is not only the entire Wa that this incident is happening. It's happening at a particular location around Paguru or the Pokobokole extension. That's where they want the police to have their eyes on. But let me tell you, Ernest, the IGP responded to what the overlord said when he interacted with some of the members of the search parties. He said that they are doing their best and they are thinking that that's the reason why they have deployed lots of personnel into town with lots of resources. And then for him, he thinks that they are doing the work, they are not talking, and very soon they will be able to apprehend the perpetrators of the heinous act.
Rafiq Salam, our Upper West regional correspondent, bringing us up to speed with development in Wa, with the killings that we've seen in the last week alone. We'll bring you more subsequently. Just stay with us. Now,